Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode on the Let's Talk Wellness with Shal podcast on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. My name is Shalini Tyagaraja. I'm a corporate leader, a wellness coach, and the founder of Mindspace. I am deeply grateful to this community, and I'm excited to share that our wellness podcast has reached over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 500 downloads on Spotify. What began as a simple intention to share my wellness insights and interview other practitioners from around the world has grown into a meaningful journey fueled by your curiosity, appreciation, and the collective need for holistic well being. So, thank you for being part of this journey with me. It's a true honor to celebrate International Yoga Day with all of you this year, 2025. As a wellness coach, corporate leader, and the founder of Mindspace, I guide individuals to cultivate a strong mind-body connection through mindfulness, meditation, breathwork, and holistic wellness. My journey with yoga began not in a serene ashram or tucked away in a nature vacation spot, but amid the real world chaos of juggling or trying to juggle a tech career, motherhood, deadlines, mentoring, community work, home, all while feeling an inner nudge for something deeper. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew that something was missing. Yoga found me at a time when I needed grounding, and what started as a search for flexibility and calm has grown into a life practice. Today, I want to invite you all to explore with me the deeper dimensions of yoga beyond just the physical poses. When I say yoga, most people think of it as sun salutations, downward dogs, or all the social media lovely posts of some of those so-called looking like impossible poses. But asana, the physical pose, is only one of the 8 limbs of yoga, as defined by the father of yoga, Patanjali. So, high level, I'll walk through those 8 limbs, but I have a separate podcast episode diving deeper into each of these 8 limbs. Number 1, Yamas. They are the ethical practices. Few of them are nonviolence, truth, moderation. Second, Niyama, the personal observances like cleanliness, contentment, and a few others. Third is asana, which is the physical poses that we do on the mat and the yoga studios around us. Fourth is pranayama, the art of harnessing our breath for holistic well-being. Number 5 is pratyahara, which is turning senses inward. 6 is dharana, which is focused concentration. 7, Dhyana, meditation. 8 is samadhi, which is the blissful absorption and unity with the divine. So, as you can see, physical poses or asana is only one of the 8 limbs. And we need all of these 8 limbs to guide us towards inner peace and self-realization. So, true yoga is a lifestyle of conscious, intentional living, choosing peace when chaos calls, and returning to the present moment again and again, which is one of the hardest things for all of us. So, for me, in my personal journey, as an immigrant to the US at the age of 19, navigating life with 2 suitcases and a dream, I quickly learned resilience, discipline, and hard work. Today, as a director at a global tech company and a community leader, I know that balance is not found, it is created. I founded Mind Space with a simple vision to support others in reconnecting with themselves, especially high-achieving women, working parents, and youth. Yoga has been my anchor, not just in movement, but in stillness, not just in strength, but in surrender. The practices of breath awareness and mindfulness have helped me respond and not react, set boundaries without guilt, lead with empathy, and parent with presence. So, yoga off the mat looks like taking a couple of grounding breaths before a tough meeting. It is pausing before instantly responding to an email which triggers you, or quickly responding in a meeting where you have a lot of debate and heightened emotions. Yoga is choosing rest over hustle when your body says enough. So now, bringing this to life, here are 5 actionable ways from my learning or experiences so far on how to embody yoga without a mat. Number 1, practice breath awareness, which is pranayama, one of the 8 limbs we talked about. There are several breath awareness techniques, but one of the simple ones to start with would be the box breath, which is 4, 4, 4, 4. What does that mean? So first you inhale with a mental count of 4, you hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold again for 4. And you can do this at any point in time because you don't really need a yoga mat. It could be during a stressful work call, in traffic, before you sleep, any time of the day. Second tip, living your values, the Yamas and the Niyamas that we talked about. Just picking one and practicing or focusing on it for a couple of weeks. For example, satya or truthfulness. Second could be santosha, which is contentment, finding gratitude. And a great way to use this is anytime you feel tempted to compare or judge. Third one is mindful transitions, finding those micro mindfulness moments in our life. This goes back to one of the 8 limbs, pratyahara, which is turning inwards. You can do this between meetings or between the various roles we play as a caregiver, as a parent, as a spouse, where you just take 2 to 3 minutes to close your eyes, connecting with the breath and finding that mental shift. This matters in the long run to help one not get into stages of burnout and helps preserve your energy over time. The fourth one is practicing a mini meditation habit consistently. This goes back to one of the 8 limbs, which is Dhyana. So where do you begin? Start with 2 or 3 minutes with your breath every morning. There's no music, there's no gadgets. It's just you and your body, where you're confronting just yourself and bringing that awareness within. So the easiest way typically to start a meditation practice when you're a beginner is to start with breath work, because that's the easiest way. When you bring your mind to focus on your breath, we try and control, or at least try to bring our focus inwards before the monkey mind just starts erupting with thousands of thoughts. And a helpful mantra when you go into the meditation habit would be, I am enough. And the last one is building community with intention. Yoga is also about connection. It's about self-compassion, connecting with others to purpose. One easy way to practice this would be to reach out to a friend or someone you haven't connected in a long time, just to check in, being fully present, without any judgment, and just listening. So those would be 5 tips to at least start this practice of yoga beyond just the physical poses. So in closing, today, on International Yoga Day, I invite you to go beyond just the physical poses, to let yoga infuse the way you live, breathe, speak, lead, and love. You don't need 60 minutes or a fancy yoga mat or any props. You need awareness, intention, and self-compassion. At Mindspace, I'm building a movement of intentional living. If you've just started your journey or you're unsure where to start, feel free to reach out to me. So as I close this podcast episode, I would love for us to come together to do a grounding breath practice for a couple of minutes. Please come to a comfortable seat, either lying down or sitting with your spine in a straight position, expanding your chest, and maybe your palms face upwards, or anything that feels comfortable at this moment with your hands. And if it's available to you, gently bringing your eyes to a close. Just taking a deep inhale and an exhale. Finding your connection with the breath. And if you see a lot of thoughts just passing by, be the observer without clinging on to any thought. Instead, bring your mind back to your breath and start noticing where you're feeling the breath in your body. The next time you take an inhale, tell yourself, I am enough. With your exhale, tell yourself, I am letting go of anything that does not serve me. Continue at least for 3 breaths with this intention each time with your inhale and your exhale. And as you come to your third breath, gently bring your palms to touch each other, bowing your head down, chin to chest, taking a moment in gratitude to the divine source or the source that's above and beyond us, guiding us to be present here today in this moment, in this practice, and giving us this opportunity to start our journey within. Thank you for joining me today in this practice. And gently blink open your eyes and release your hands. Thank you for joining me on this podcast episode where we talked about living yoga, a modern celebration of an ancient path. Hopefully, with a little bit of this knowledge that yoga is beyond just the physical poses, you begin this curious journey and dive deeper as you explore what yoga means in your path, in your life. Thank you so much for joining me.